Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? This your boy JT, opposite from the norm. Before I get started, make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right, well, let me say this first and foremost, man. I definitely am not trying to make this or seem like a I told you so campaign or tour or whatever you want to call it. This is more of another call to the wise and to people that are aware or people that may need to hear certain things to, God bless them, get their attention. Now, these are the things I had spoke about on this show, to Straight to It podcast. Shout out to everybody over there. Uh, like me and my partner been saying, talking about this all the time. What does it really take for our people to really wake up? And sadly enough, like I said, that's why we're trying to work on the trajectory of our channel. That's why we do the Poly Talk on Wednesdays, Financial Fridays. That's why we, you know what I'm saying? Of course, get away a little bit, have my boy HD do the sports. But that's why we're trying to do things to give our people some knowledge on certain things that we do and things that they could be working on. You know what I mean? Besides just talking, you know what I'm saying? And trying to work on some things God wanted behind the scenes, off the show as well to present. But I just want to bring this up, and hopefully this could be, sadly, but hopefully an example of what we need to see what's going on. All right, so suspect in custody in connection with slaying of rapper King Von. Rest in peace, brother. One person has been arrested in connection to the death of rapper King Von in Atlanta, police said. Timothy Leach, 22 years old, is in police custody while at Grady Hospital in Atlanta, where he is receiving treatment for a gunshot wound. According to the Atlanta Police Department, the Atlanta Police Homicide Unit has arrest warrants against Leach for felony murder. CNN is trying to determine whether Leach has an attorney. The APD's homicide investigation of Von's slaying is closed with the arrest of Leach, the department said. Von from Chicago was killed Friday during an early morning exchange of gunfire outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge in Atlanta, authorities said. Two groups of men were arguing when the shots were fired around 3:30 a.m. Authorities said on duty and off-duty police responded in an attempt to stop the shooting. Gunfire was exchanged. 4 people were wounded by gunfire, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, which was investigating the shooting because officers fired their weapon. I'm just some of that to get people who don't know exactly what happened. So you can go see the video, sadly, when these brothers get into it and start shooting each other up. And you can see this young brother's some of his last hours on this earth, man. Young, early 20s. These brothers is between 19 and 22 years old. And this is what we have been saying for months now. Instead of people looking at it like this pandemic is fake, instead of people looking at it like this pandemic is something that the government just conjured up, instead of people just looking at it like I'm going to live my life and still enjoy my life, instead of people just looking at this situation of this pandemic is like, oh, they just trying to keep you in fear, especially for my people. How about we look at it as this is a time to get our ish together. This is a time to sit down and perfect your crafts of what you're trying to do with your life. Hopefully positive, righteous way. Doing your business, trying to, network and, get closer to your family, and first and foremost, get closer to God. If this is, God forbid, something that is supposed to mess us up like this, and all we out here doing is partying, I mean, like, this is what we got to realize. We can't just blame everybody else for what happens to us. And I'm not saying in the same vein as the right or conservatives and sellout Negroes. I'm talking about in the way of real love, tough love that we need to have this discussion. Because you got to look at it as what's still going on with us. So why would you still want to party in BS? You got Ahmaud Arbery. You got Breonna Taylor. You got George Floyd. Rashard Brooks. God rest these people's souls. Just to name 4 people that ended up getting killed during the pandemic. Now, just let that sink in for a second. During the pandemic, people are still getting, black brothers and sisters, especially brothers, are getting arrested at high rates during the pandemic. We still killing each other during the pandemic. So, what else does it take? When 45 got elected in office, I was like, let me start getting on my business stuff. Definitely let me solidify my business. Definitely spend time with my family more and try to figure out what I can do, educate myself more. First and foremost, getting a closer relationship with God. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that I'm paying attention to. My relationship with God, my relationship with Jesus, Yahshua, if you will. But you mean to tell me that all these young brothers keep killing each other, and the thing we keep hopping online is just worrying about the pandemic being fake? Let me show y'all something else. Lexi Elijah. Her real name was Alexis Elijah Lynch. And she started out her career as a SoundCloud and YouTube singer. At only 17 years old, she released her first album, Joseph Cope. And 2 years later, debuted her second, Growing Pain. She was featured on Kehlani's song Jealous from her Grammy-nominated album, and also opened up concerts for artists like Lil Uzi Vert, Playboi Carti, and Rich the Kid. God rest her soul, this nice-looking young sister. The rapper was found dead on January 1st at age 21 due to an accidental overdose of fentanyl, ethanol, according to a medical report. Trey Coast, the 21-year-old up-and-coming rapper, was becoming a recognized local new artist. He had released singles on Apple Music and was featured in rapper Key's single Gifted on SoundCloud. On January 17, he was killed in a shooting that happened near his family home in North Phoenix. His body was identified inside his vehicle, which was riddled with bullets, according to police reports. Rest in peace. D-Dave, the rapper's most recent single, was No More Humble in December 2019 and had listed rappers such as J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Joey Badass as artists who are making great music these days. D-Dave, who worked full-time in a gas and electric company, was shot to death before leaving for Atlanta to play a show that, according to his family, could have been his big break. He was 29 years old and left a girlfriend and a 10-year-old son. Big Buddha was a well-known 24, God rest the other brother D-Dave soul. Big Buddha, God rest his soul, was a well-known 24-year-old rapper in Southeast D.C. He was shot while inside his vehicle on February 1st and died afterward at the hospital. His real name was Donnell Hodges and had a 1-year-old son. The bad news came after releasing his most recent mixtape, Slide 2, and only a month after his mother's death. God rest his soul. Y'all already know about Pop Smoke's story. I got another one, God rest Pop Smoke. So, China Rogers. Rogers started as a model at age 14 before pursuing a career in music. For years, the singer had openly said that she has been dealing with drug addiction, which she talked about on 90, her 2016 mixtape. According to reports, the 25-year-old was found dead after accidental drug intoxication at her home in Philadelphia. Nick Blixky, the hip-hop singer, debuted the single Drive the Boat last October and gathered over 2 million views on YouTube right before his death. He had posted on his Instagram that he will be releasing Different Time in his first ever mixtape. The rapper from Brooklyn was shot and killed in March, a few blocks away from his home at 21. Mac P. Dog, considered emerging inspirational voice Matt P. Dog was known for his song "Let Me Know" and "Salt Shaker" featuring Dolly Bernays. He also collaborated with Shoreline Mafia and had recently released the single "Same Kid." Joshua Andre Galvez, his real name, was shot and killed in Los Angeles on April 6 after his death. A friend and former Shoreline Mafia member, Phoenix Flexin, released "Rest in Peace Mac P Dog," a song to honor the 24-year-old singer. KJ Baller, Noel Kennedy, is another untimely deceased rapper who was shot from a moving car at only 23 years old. He had already co-founded the label From Nothing Records. His songs were streamed in Spotify over 800,000 times, and his latest single, Back to Back, had been released only 1 month before being killed. Other known songs from him are Switch the Game, Strangers, and Cooking Up. God rest the souls of all these young brothers and sisters. Excuse me. So you mean to tell me that all these people that been dying since January are getting killed? And our thing is trying to live normal how? Explain to me how you gonna go back to that's your normalcy. That's your normality. You know what I'm saying? That's normal to you is to go turning to drugs, turning back to the streets. I seen somebody send the comments on one of King Von's when they was talking about King Von on the YouTube. Somebody was saying Lil Durk tried to tell him if you gonna be in with this music, you gotta be all the way in. Basically telling you can't be on the streets. But Lil Durk just had a gun charge last year. This is what I'm trying to get people to see. While we out here trying to prove that this pandemic is fake, all this blase squad, not noticing that cats is still thinking it's okay to be in the streets. Matter of fact, I didn't find out there's that information about a week ago in my city. A couple brothers had a gunfight. So we think that we can keep doing the same thing. I don't know what to tell you. If people feel it's fake, all right. Like I've been telling people, why try to be out and party and have fun still instead of sitting down and trying to figure out what we're gonna do with our lives and try to do something different. What's I don't get what's so wrong with that. I ain't saying it's gonna be perfect. I ain't gonna say it's easy. I know it's a process, God will. But I am saying the best thing to do is at least try. Let's not just sit around and keep trying to get people to keep telling it's all good. Don't worry about it. And my boy Low Key said something. He said, you know, this might be just something to get us ready for something worse, God forbid. So then I would say to people, all right, then let's change the trajectory of what we're doing. Because if God forbid something else was gonna come worse, we wouldn't be ready for it. We get all these videos. The show is fake, but we don't ever get videos. The show is real. We see all these videos, young brothers and sisters getting killed, dying, overdosing, police murders, brutality, arrests, bad health in our community, which is something we all got to fight on. I'm not saying, you know, we don't. But all these things that we keep saying, we want to keep doing the same ish. I pray for us in God's name. Lord bless us. Lord Jesus bless us. Because we don't get it. We just don't get it. All them names I just said and read to you since January all the way up until just over the weekend. Well, I ain't gonna front to you. People may not like what I'm about to say, but I can care less. When the pandemic was keeping a lot of people in the house, at least a lot of people weren't dying like this. Rest in peace to all them young brothers and sisters that's gone too young. It's your boy JT at Opposite from the Known. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna get back with y'all, God willing.